Hey, what's up, everybody? So we got a special little treat for you today. Just happened to be at a place that I work where we got some Conies today. Not been on super diet, right? So Conies are like the worst thing ever, but they're really the best thing ever. And it dawned on me when we were ordering Conies, Coney dogs, Coney Islands, if you will, how special they are to Jackson, Michigan. There's a huge Coney controversy, if you will, that not a lot of people know about. The Coney controversy is Detroit and Ann Arbor and Flint are all very well known for their Conies, but they're all very different from our Conies. So, I was going to make a video explaining the difference, especially since I don't eat them that much. So, today, I'll be review the food, okay? So I'm gonna try to set this down a little bit, try to get a good angle. So let me see if we can, okay. Maybe I can back off a little bit or something. Just going at it guerrilla style here, and we're live. So I'm also experimenting with the live functions of the Conies. So why Jackson is different from Detroit, or why it's different from Ann Arbor or Flint. I would say that Ann Arbor, there's a difference. I'm not from the Flint / Detroit area, so I'm not completely sure about the two differences, okay? But the Jackson Coney is of course what I grew up with, what I know, what I love. It's got that special place in my heart. The Detroit Coney, and to a different extent the Flint Coney, and you can look this up online, I've done it before, is actually more of a chili dog. Alright, and they might think that that's heresy that I say that, but I'm going to show you the dog real quick. So I'm going to try to get a good view of this puppy. So, if you can see this trend, it's hard for me to see it while doing this, but you can see it's plowed with onions and mustard, which is pretty normal, right? But you can see the loose meatness of it. It's not chili sauce. It's not really even sauce. It's just loose meat. And the loose meat is made out of pure beef heart. I don't know if it's pure beef heart, but it's definitely, beef heart is definitely one of the main components of it all. Oops, sorry, I got these little notifications popping up. But, so yes, it is basically a dog with like a beef heart. And it's got some sauce, but the sauce is cooked down, so it's not really sauce. It's just saucified beef heart / other animal particulate maybe be up in there. The place that this actual Coney comes from here is called Andy's Coney Island in Jackson. They have, in my opinion, the best pizza like ever, and the best fries ever. Their Conies are very good, alright? But their Conies are, I do not believe they're the best in town. So maybe I'll get around to doing that someday. But the reason I thought that this is twofold, right? One, because it just happened at work where we got Conies. The other thing is about this shooting that happened today. It happened at a baseball game. So I started thinking about that and thinking to myself, like, what could be more American, than having hot dogs? It's just part of American culture. As far as I know, we kind of invented the hot dog. I might be wrong on that, but I know that a hot dog is a very, very Americanized food. So it's basically considered heresy to put ketchup on this, alright? You can put extra mustard, you can put extra onions, but you don't really change the formula, or otherwise you're not eating Coney. I do commit heresy with this one thing. This particular place called Andy's Pizza. Andy's Coney Island. They have this stuff that's called gringo sauce. That's right, you heard me right. They call it gringo sauce. And I love that. I don't want them to change their name. It's been there for years and years, since I was a little kid. And I'll commit a little heresy. And everybody, and when I say heresy, come on, if you want to put ketchup on it or whatever, that's your own business. But I take a little of this stuff, right? and just drizzle it on there. And this is the only place that you can get this sauce in the whole world. It is their own little concoction, and they don't even actually advertise it as like a Coney sauce. You know, it comes on one of their only one item they have called the Gringo sandwich, which is fantastic. And I used to get them every once in a while, and I love the Gringo sauce. I just pour more Gringo sauce. The bread just soaks it right up, right? So, big ups to Andy's Pizza, Andy Coney Island. There's 3 locations that I know. There's at least 2 in Jackson and 1 in Michigan Center. I don't ever go to the one in Michigan Center, so I've never been there. But family owned and operated, and I love Andy's Pizza. I think there's maybe a couple things they could straighten out as far as some of their ingredients or where they source some of their stuff from. If it was like me, I would probably be a little choosier. But you can't mess with them, and they're a staple in Jackson. So, yes. So in the honor of my fellow Americans that suffered at the hands of this terrorist act, this political assassination act, even though I'm on my diet, when I heard that we were getting Coneys today, I had to do my American civic duty and have one for the ball players. It's a deep-rooted American tradition. When you go to the ball game, you just have a dog, and that's the way it is. So once again, I'll give you a nice little overview shot here if I can get to it. This camera's kind of hard to work with, but let's dissect this baby a little bit. You can see, maybe that's... Oops, rotate device, sorry. I'm not used to the live thing, I'm just having fun with it, right? So there you go. Freaking Coney dog from heck right there. These are so good. So I'm not going to eat on camera because I think that's kind of gross or whatever. Unless somehow you think it'll give me more hits. No, I'm just joking. But I had to tell you the difference. So, again, Jackson Coney dog, only place where you can get one like that I'm aware of. Every other place you go get a Coney dog in the whole U.S., they're chili dog-esque. They don't have the same type of, layering. It's just not the same thing. This is a Jackson Coney Island. It's the only place on earth I've ever seen one or could get one. So I salute all the Coney makers, and they're all over town too. By the way, there is multiple places. There are multiple places in Jackson where you can get Coney Islands, and each one is a little bit different, but they're all the same. Not one place in town. Well, no, there is. There was one place in town that actually did have chili dogs, but I think they were even forced to convert because they just, the whole time, like they came in, they were a Greek Coney Island, which in Detroit you'll see a lot of Greek Coney Islands, but their Coney Island is just not a Jackson Coney Island. So people, even though it was in Jackson, they would go there. At least it was a change, and I think you can still get either kind. You can get like a Detroit style or a Jackson style, but it's definitely a thing, and it's definitely an interesting video. So if you're ever in Jackson, Michigan, you have to go get a Jackson Coney dog. And there's several places. I'll just name off a few that are my favorites, and hopefully I don't upset anybody that I've left any out. Of course, no, I don't have a big audience yet, but one day maybe I will. Andy's Coney Island, or Andy's Pizza, is one place. Jackson Coney Island, Virginia Coney Island, West Point Grill, which is more known for burgers. They got really good burgers there. They actually, in all honesty, they're kind of my favorite because they grill the dog instead of boiling them. And then Alpha Coney Island, but Alpha Coney Island is the Greek Coney Island that they used to have chili dogs, and I think I've heard they have regular dogs now, but I don't know. So, and then the rest in peace Jackson Pizza Factory, which had amazing Coney dogs as well as amazing pizza, but they did not survive the the business environment that's been going on the last few years around here. So very sad to see a mom and pop business, which Jackson's full of, by the way. Jackson, Michigan is full of mom and pop businesses, not so much corporate entities. Now, of course, that's changing everywhere, but Jackson still kind of holds that dear. Jackson Pizza Factory was right in the middle of a residential neighborhood and was just a glorified house, and it was a really amazing place. So alright, I try to keep my videos around 10 minutes because I'm wandering on, but I'm just experimenting with live video, and I appreciate you watching. And make sure when you eat a Coney dog next time that you think about what you're eating. Are you eating the beef heart kind, like this, with actual, loose meat, not really any sauce? Or are you eating a chili dog? I think this is one of those topics that, because I'm from Jackson, I'll explore more in the future. Next time we go to Detroit, I'll do a review on one of those. And I rarely go to Flint, but I've heard that Flints are better than Detroit, but I'm always going to probably stick with Jackson, unless they blow me away. Because I've had some good ones in Ann Arbor, but they're not a Coney dog. It's like a chili dog, so I don't... It's just a thing. It's a Michigan thing, and you might not understand. Y'all might not understand, you heard? But yeah, this is Review the Food signing off, alright? You guys have a wonderful day, and, pray for the victims, for a fast and speedy recovery of the shooting. We all stand with our fellow countrymen and our congressmen and police officers that did their duty. It's a really horrific thing. I'm already seeing people starting to blame the left while I'm talking about this. I want to tell you guys that I don't know if it's come out yet whether this was politically motivated one way or the other. But terrorism and violence are just that. They're terrorism and they're violence and they're evil. And the First Amendment is our way of changing things. You don't use the Second Amendment. You don't abuse and hurt the Second Amendment by doing what this evil SOB did. We have to cherish the First Amendment and quit trying to censor people. And quit trying to censor the president. I tried to make a video this morning about that idiot Representative Mike Quigley from Illinois, who introduced the Covfefe Act. Idiot. What are you thinking? You're just trying to censor the president because he's real effective. You're a real piece of work, Quigley. Anybody that attempts to smash the First Amendment shall be dealt with by the First Amendment, because you will never win. You understand? The Second Amendment is not about violence, it's about protecting ourselves. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm still on here. I must say that on the radio, I was listening to local talk radio that has a local call-in show that's very interesting for me to listen to get the perspective from my local peeps, right? And they're already going down the road of what is going to be said about gun control about this, and the facts are getting mixed up. My earlier video, the reaction video, basically is like right as that happened, I said it was in DC. Well, I assumed it was in DC, and I did put a retraction on there and I pinned it to the top, so I try to be as honest and forthcoming as possible. I assumed it was in DC. It's actually in a place called Alexandria, Virginia. And Alexandria, Virginia is about 7 miles away from DC, 7 miles south of the Potomac, or it's on the Potomac somewhere. I didn't see a map, I just looked it up because I said, you know what, maybe it's not in DC. DC is not the biggest place, so maybe it could have been, around DC. So, that being said, I started thinking about my statement about the DC gun laws, which are crap, by the way, and I'm not up to speed. Heller, rule, or the way that the court ruled. I don't know why they don't exactly have to follow that, but there's still a lot of strict gun law stuff. It's from my understanding. I could be wrong. I'm not from DC, so if you know anything about there, post some sources below in the comment area. That'd be appreciated. I'll read them. Because I'm going to be doing some research on that anyways. But I think that with this shooting, it's in a stadium, right? So like the stadium, I don't have to hunch. I'm missing, my Coneys are cold now, but it's okay. They're not that much money. I'd go get some more if I had to. But I do want to finish talking about this, because it's kind of I've been thinking about it since I heard this morning. I know in Michigan, I'm a concealed carry holder. But there's certain places I can't go. A school is one, and a stadium is another. There's several others. They're listed on the back of my card, actually. Let me pull that out and not show you, obviously, my credentials, but I can show you the back. Here, I'll just quickly flash the back, alright? So it has like these rules on the back. I'll read them off just because I'm already live. This license allows the licensee to carry a pistol on or about his person anywhere in the state, except a licensee shall not carry a concealed pistol as prohibited by the law, including, but not limited to, the premises of any of the following: school or school property, child care or daycare center, child caring institution or child placing agency, sports arena or stadium, bar/tavern where the sale and consumption of liquor is the primary source of income, a church, synagogue, mosque, temple, or other place of worship, an entertainment facility with a seating capacity of 2,500 or more individuals, a hospital, a dormitory or classroom of community college, college, or university, and casino. So that being said, I do not know what the rules or laws are in Virginia, but I'm assuming that they're pretty similar. And I say assume with all caps, assume. I don't know. I want to make that very clear. I'm just postulating here live as I do this live broadcast, but I assume that it's very similar, and I assume that you cannot bring a pistol into a stadium, and that would mean even if you were a congressman, which is where the gun conversation should go. In my personal belief, I'm going to give you my personal belief, I believe that a police officer, and that could be debated. That there could be some room for debate there, but I believe in general a police officer should be able to, or shall be able to carry everywhere. If he's allowed to be on the police force, he's done the background checks, he's got plenty of training, he's got the best interest of the public at heart. I see no reason why he shouldn't be able to, he or she should not be able to conceal carry basically anywhere. Then number two is elected representatives of state, of our state, or of our the United States of America. And all this is up for debate, and this is somewhat reactionary, but I have thought about it. I believe that if we have so much trust that we elect an individual to lead our state or lead our country, that they're most likely, given the benefit of the doubt, some of the best among us. They're reaching higher in the quote-unquote dominance hierarchy. So that being said, I have faith that elected representatives would not go commit an act of terrorism or violence like you saw today. Thus, if they were mandated to not, I'm seeing poor connection. I'm getting it. I thought I should have checked my Wi-Fi connection to this perfect router. So if this looks like crap, I'm sorry. This is kind of a beta test. This is the second one I've ever done from my phone. I'm going away from my point, but I generally think that our elected representatives should be able to conceal carry, because I believe that they were very lucky that the DC police, I think they were Capitol Hill police, the people that were there with Scalise, because he's the third ranking highest leadership position, they were there as protection for him. If he wasn't there, Rand Paul said it could have been so much worse. So because of that, and because you cannot have or it seems, let's see if I can get, there's a little bit better reception, but my point was I'm worried about my connection. I should have thought about that beforehand. Anyways, wrapping this up, that I don't know, a congressman, they would have been completely defenseless, and that's not right. So I might do a video on it later. We'll see how this turns out. If it turns out all terrible, I'm sorry about that. I did just kind of go into it head on. So hopefully this turns out. I don't know. We'll not make that mistake again, though, because this place where I came, there's another Wi-Fi across the building, and it's connecting to that one instead of the one down here. But that's my mistake, because I came down here all quickly and did this. But I hope that everybody out there can hear me, and I hope that everyone's having a wonderful day. Besides this, actually, I'm very happy that nobody died except for the terrorist, assassin, political assassin that did this. This is horrible. It's busting me up. So what you gotta go through when you have a bad situation is what good can come out of it. This is exactly the situation that, which, while I agree with the no taking a firearm, a concealed pistol, to a sports arena for the general public, I do believe that if you are an undercover cop, or if you're a congressman or senator or elected official in some capacity, that the public has that much faith in you, that the public voted you and put you in there, I believe that there should be a discussion about it. That's all. I'm not demanding that they, be able to do this. I'm saying there should be a discussion about it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much if you watched. If not, no big deal. This is kind of beta live streaming because I'm not used to doing it with my phone, and I screwed up and connected to the wrong Wi-Fi. So we'll see how this turns out, and cool, keep watching. I really appreciate all my viewers. Been doing good. I've been getting a little bit higher in the numbers on Twitter at Review the Earth, and on YouTube I'm up to 120 subscribers and over 1,700 Twitter followers. So doing good. People seem to be receptive to my message. So please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.